First of all, I want to thank you guys for coming out and covering Penn State football like always. I want to thank the fans. We had a great crowd, 110,830, second largest, that's what I'm talking about. Second largest crowd in Beaver Stadium history. That was awesome. When you look at the game, I just thought we played really good complementary football, offense, defense, and special teams. Obviously, our defense played a suffocating style of D, and we're able to get turnovers, and we're extremely ball aware. But the other thing is, again, we didn't turn the ball over on offense either. Special teams, I thought we did a really nice job. Obviously, their punter is special. He's a phenomenal punter, so that was challenging. He put us in some tough spots, especially rolling to your right, which to me, whenever you go against a rugby punter and they roll to the right, the punt returner is going to cheat and work that way. Well, then he started kicking it diagonal across the field. I don't know how you really defend that, and then he got the roll. So that was impressive on their part. Some kind of interesting facts. We only allowed 76 yards in the entire game. That's the 10th fewest in school history. Iowa only had 4 first downs in the entire game, 4th fewest allowed in Penn State history. Offense had 4 scoring drives of 10-plus plays, which also went hand in hand with a possession time of 45 minutes and 27 seconds, which I've never seen before. We've scored 30 or more points 11 times in a row now. That leads the nation. Nittany Lions have also scored in 28 straight quarters. That's the longest streak in the country. So just a ton of stuff to be proud of. Won the turnover battle. We know how important that stat is. We did not win the explosive play battle, but I do think we grinded that game out, which when you're playing a team like Iowa, you can't get bored of grinding it out. Going for it on 4th and 1 3 times, picking it up. We got our third down percentage better in the second half than the first half. But their style of defense, they're going to make you grind it out in the run game. They're not going to give up big plays. They played soft in the secondary and kept everything in front of them. So would we like to be more explosive? Yes. But I don't know if necessarily that was important in this game the way it played out. We won the third down battle. We won the sack battle. Again, our defensive line is doing a great job. We had 3 sacks and a ton of pressures. Not a whole lot of people talk about our offensive line. Did not give up any sacks. That's huge as well. We tied the penalty battle in terms of number, but not yards. We lost it in yards. And then field position battle, their punter dominated that stat. So, there's some quick facts for you. But again, I appreciate everybody coming out in a less than ideal weather situation, which also magnifies also our ball security. So again, appreciate everybody being here. I truly do, and open up the questions.
Start with Mark.
James, you mentioned the explosive plays or lack of them. You also have very few turnovers. Is there a direct correlation between maybe not taking as many shots and limiting the turnovers? Because obviously it's working for you.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a correlation. I do think we're doing a really good job of respecting the ball in general. We talk about the ball being the program. When the other team has the ball, we're not happy about it. We're trying to get it back and do everything we can. We've done a good job of that with turnovers. And then when you're carrying the ball, whoever it is, you're carrying the entire program and everybody's hopes and dreams with the program in your hands. So, make sure that we're doing a great job in terms of ball security, in terms of high and tight. But then also in terms of decision making at the quarterback position, O-line protection of the quarterback's blind side, all those things factor into ball security. So I'm real proud of that. The correlation between the explosive plays, I don't know if there's necessarily that, but I'm pleased with how we're playing overall. I did think we got better this week, and it's something to build on for next week.
Rich.
James, how would you describe the job that Manny is doing with this particular group, and what makes this defense as good as it is?
Well, Manny's doing a great job. He really has done a really good job of coming in, really embracing our culture and how we do things, but also bringing a perspective on his own as well. The staff has a ton of respect for him. Our players have a ton of respect for him. You know, we put a priority on athleticism. There's probably a few bigger defenses, but we are athletic and we're quick and we're fast and we're explosive. And we're playing more consistent gap sound defense. And you know, Manny's doing a great job from a big picture leadership perspective, but then also just getting everybody to understand how do you really play defensive football and what it takes. So obviously we're doing some pretty good things, and I think Mike's doing a great job on offense. I think Manny's doing a great job on defense, and we just got to continue building it. And obviously the assistant coaches are doing a great job in terms of reinforcing the overall plans. But Manny's done a great job, and we're fortunate and blessed to have him and his family here with us.
Tyler.
James, you've mentioned a few times your ability on defense to go late in the games and to even when you put in the backups or even third strings, to finish strong. Personnel standpoint, where is this Penn State defense based on the decade of defenses you've had? Obviously, Manny doing a great job leading the group, but from a personnel spot, the players you've assembled, is this the deepest bunch that you've had at any point?
Yeah, I think you know, I've kind of already stated that in the preseason, that our depth is better than I remember it at any point since I've been here, which is allowing us to play a ton of guys and keep guys fresh. It's also you know, going to help us in fourth quarters. It's going to help us late in the season. Thought it was better this week where we were able to get the backups in there, and they still held the shutout. Offensively, those guys got some reps. It was a shame because of the penalty. You know, I think that unit would have had a chance to score there without the 15-yard penalty for hands to the face on a pancake block, which was the right call. But yeah, I think our depth is better, and it's only getting better because we continue to play a ton of guys.
Pickle.
Coach, you mentioned the better third down efficiency in the second half, and I think most of your points, yards, average per play went up across the board in the second half. What do you think changed offensively between the first 30 minutes and the second that allowed you guys to obviously keep scoring?
Yeah, I think a couple things. I think obviously being able to get in there at halftime and talk through some things as a staff, you know, halftime adjustments. I think, you know, we did a good job of that this week. Again, I thought we were able to stay on schedule. You look at the two biggest stats of playing an Iowa team. First down efficiency for both sides. Our offense's efficiency, our defense's efficiency, getting them off schedule. We were able to stay on schedule for the most part. We were able to get them off schedule. That was a big stat. The other one was the middle eight. We put a huge emphasis on the middle eight, be able to come out and get those points by deferring the initial coin toss and then go down and get some points there to start the half. That was big. So I think our kids settled down. I think we got a pretty good idea of what they did well. And I thought Mike did a really good job of calling the game and not getting bored against an Iowa defense who's damn good, and not get bored of the plays that were consistently getting us 5 and 6 yards and coming back to them. Don't get bored with them. Keep coming back to them until they've proven they can stop them.
Stopper.
You mentioned having those kind of pet plays throughout a game. How important is it to find those things early in the game, and when did you feel like you found those plays?
Yeah, I think, you know, we started to kind of get some of them in the second quarter, and then what I try to do on the headset, you know, is really kind of remind Mike of things like that. I think I always appreciated that when I was an offensive coordinator. Take a shot here, run the ball here. Mike, they haven't stopped these two plays. Let's get back to them. But Mike's doing a really good job. I think Ty Howell's been a really good voice in the box with him as well. But Mike's doing a really nice job, and really the whole staff is. So, you know, that's I would say probably the second quarter, and then we kind of kept going back to those things in the second half.
Todd.
Coach, I was going to ask you about Coach Yursich and his evolution from when he started with all the quick passes, but you kind of hit on that a lot, so let's switch to Drew Aller. What was more impressive, kind of the zip of the ball, the accuracy? Had short touchdown passes, but but he's fitting it into tight windows, so he's not only making good decisions, but the accurate throws to get the 6 points in those in the red zone.
Yeah, and we had some drops that I don't think we normally have, but with the weather conditions, those things happened. We got to be better there. We got to continue to work the wet ball stuff. But yeah, I thought Drew did a really good job of managing the game. It's not just the offensive line; it's also Drew and the running backs from a protection standpoint, making sure that we're getting our 5 blockers on their 5 most dangerous rushers. And then there's times where Drew's doing a good job of getting rid of the ball and throwing it away. Sometimes that's as big of a play as anything, because it would have been a 6-yard sack and he throws it away, and you either give yourself another down to pick up the first down, or you reserve the right to punt, which sometimes that's the right thing to do.
Audrey. James, you're great. You told us all offseason that you thought you had 3 defensive ends that could start probably anywhere throughout the country. We saw the 3 of them on the field.
I don't know if that's what I said. I think I said we view them as starters.
We view them as starters. We saw the 3 of them on the field tonight. How did you think that group played, and then what went into getting the 3 of them together? Because it seemed like it worked out quite well.
Yeah, again, I think to that point, we know we got 3 guys that can be really disruptive as well as others. And Chop has the ability to really be powerful as a pass rusher. So we thought his quickness and power gave us something as a change-up and a different package against against their 3rd down package. So I thought it was good for us. We'll continue to do some different wrinkles each week based on matchups and scheme, but it's good to do those types of things and be creative and give other people things that they got to work on during the week.
Last one to Jared on the far left.
Hey, Jared.
Last week before the Illinois game, Elisa Isaac said you guys need to raise the havoc rate. Now we've seen 5 turnovers forced there, 4 here. What about the defense has broken through that you've been forcing so many turnovers?
Adisa put it out in the universe. I asked him to do it again this week, but really I think the biggest thing is being able to get people off schedule. If people are able to stay on schedule and run the ball and throw quick game and things like that, it's hard to have the havoc rate that you want. But when you can get people off schedule on 1st and 2nd down and do a great job of defending the run, then you put yourself in a position to earn the right to rush the passer by how you defend the run. So some real positives to build on, but it really starts with playing great run defense on early downs to give yourself to have the havoc rate in terms of sacks, tackles for loss, and turnovers.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.